Hi Excel lovers, my name is Lenny Wu. In this tutorial, I'm going to share with you the 10 best practices in Excel modeling. The first pair of do's and don'ts is related to data transformation. It says, do not leave comparable data in different columns. Why? Because it's hard to be used in the pivot table. Now let's look at an example. Suppose we're going to paste data from one file to another. In column C, we have WIP balance, which is work in progress balance. We need to paste the data for project and location in column A and B, and AR balance in column D. Okay, did you see something wrong? You're right, it's very wrong. Why? Because first, there's a gap in between. You will have to copy the 3 columns, paste in here, and then move the last column to column D, or copy the first 2 columns separately, which takes more time and clicks. Secondly, this kind of data setup is not ideal because you have WIP balance in column C and AR balance in column D, and with a lot of empty cells in between. Now suppose we want to do a pivot table out of this data. Let's press and hold Alt and V and create a pivot table on this sheet. Click OK. Now let's drag location to the rows, WIP balance to the values, AR outstanding to the values again, and then we get this pivot table. As you can see, we did not make this WIP balance and AR outstanding balance in one field, so that you have to drag WIP balance and AR balance separately, which is not convenient, especially when you want to change the data format. For example, right-click, number format, number. Let's select Use 1000 separator and no decimal places. Click OK. All of a sudden, you change the data formats. Great? Not quite. Why? Because you only changed the data format for the WIP balance column. You will have to do this for the rest 10 columns or more columns if you do have. So one way to avoid this issue is to put everything in one column. So meaning AR, outstanding balance, also in column C. So by doing that, this column will no longer be called WIP balance. Let's make a mark and by coloring these AR balances with yellow and mark out beside it as AR outstanding. And then let's copy WIP balance and tag it beside the WIP balance numbers. By doing this, we effectively make all numbers in one column. And let's change this to amount. Column D, let's change to category, or any name that you can give to summarize the WIP balance and AR balance. Now let's refresh the previous pivot table we made. Right-click, refresh, and all you can see, we got a new table with different columns, amount and category. Now we want to drag category into columns then, and amount to values. And as you can see, the data format is not quite there, so let's right-click, number format, number, use 1000 separator and no decimal places as usual. Click OK. All of a sudden, all numbers in the columns are properly formatted all at once. And why is that? Because all numbers has been built into one field called amount. So this is a kind of efficiency that we can gain by rearranging the data in different columns, especially rearranging all numbers into one column rather than multiple columns. To summarize, the first do and don'ts is related to data transformation. So it says, do not leave comparable data in different columns because it will be very difficult to do the pivot table as I have demonstrated you. So what we can do is to keep all comparable data like WIP balance and AR outstanding in the same column, like we have demonstrated earlier. That's all for the first pair of do's and don'ts in Excel modeling. Hope you like it. Please subscribe and check out my other videos on Excel modeling. Thank you. Happy learning.